and all in the videos. Not being up all game. Not talking about what you want to talk about. Listen to him, me, you and her. You and her, she get with me and him. And we can kick it every weekend. And him and her, she leave me and you. And we can Netflix and chill like we do. Oh, man. It's just him, me, you and her. Yeah. It's just him, me, you and her. Yeah. It's just him, me, you and her. Yeah. It's just him, me, you and her.
It's just him, me, you and her.
Hey.
It's just him, me, you and her.
Ow.
Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
As always, it's your main man Mo, him, me, you, and her crew. We in the building.
Pretty Brown, you know I'm back.
Back from the Bahamas.
Yes, welcome.
Back from the Bahamas.
Yes, welcome back.
Bahamas was beautiful.
It was lovely.
Episode 108. Vic is here.
2 months.
To the left, your left or my left? That's your left.
MAGGs is here.
And we have Ms Kalilah Wright from Messinabottle.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Got a few things I want to cover real quick. I'm sorry. Shawty, how was your trip?
My trip was great, actually. It's my first time out of the country, so I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
Nice weather, beautiful beach, cleanest water I ever seen.
Did you have to take transportation out there?
What do you mean?
Cab,
Did we fly?
bus,
Yeah, we actually took a, what did we take? We took... No, because we flew to Florida and we took an Uber from the airplane.
No, like in Bahamas. In Bahamas, did you travel in Bahamas with their?
Oh, with their
services, yeah.
For the what are they called? Like the excursions. We took like their cabs and stuff.
How'd they treat you?
They actually treat you good. They like women out there. I can tell you that much.
Yes,
They're
they
very polite to the
do.
women.
Yes, they do.
It was.
Right.
I had a good time though.
That's good. Glad you're back.
Go back.
Good.
All right. Well, I want to shout out. I want to start off by giving a rest in peace shout out to my man Stan, who today's his birthday. He passed away in 2006. So we want to give a big birthday shout out to him.
My boy.
Everybody on 102
knows
who he is. So I also want to touch on the family of the 5 kids who died in that fire last week, Sunday in Queens Village. Our deepest sympathy from him and you, her podcast, goes out to the 5 children. There was a 2-year-old named Chase Lipford, 10-year-old Rayshawn Matthews, 16-year-old Jada Foxworth, 17-year-old Melody Edwards, and 20-year-old Destiny Jones. They have a GoFundMe link. I'm going to put it in the comments, you guys, if you choose, and I'd appreciate if you do. Help the family out. The services
to the fam, by the way.
Yes, definitely condolences to the fam. The services are on this Saturday at the new Greater Bethel Ministries on 215-32 Jamaica Avenue, Queens Village, New York. The viewing is from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the funeral is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the repast will be at the same place. Everybody come out, support. Like I said, I'll put the GoFundMe in the link. So I want to also talk about this dating game that we're trying to get going on. We're trying to
yes, let us know.
Yeah, we have a female, like I tell you guys before. We just need a male. You guys go on a date. We'll pay for the date.
I guess they would just say you're available.
Yeah.
And you're open to date someone. Right? Just let us know.
Go
email in the comments, just let us know.
What's the email, Max?
Hit me, you have.
Yeah, just hit us in the email. Let us know. We pay for the date. You guys come back. You talk about it. Y'all let us know the pros, the cons. Whatever.
Yeah.
I just ordered the T-shirts, so you guys be patient. They're coming soon. And also want to touch on last week's episode. I'm getting a lot of good reviews from last week's episode. We appreciate you guys who watched and shared it as usual and loved it. So we have a guest here today, Ms Kalilah Wright from Messinabottle.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Kalilah Wright has this beautiful T-shirt company. She's a young black entrepreneur.
That I am.
Doing her thing. So you want to talk to us about your Messinabottle?
Sure. Messinabottle, it's a T-shirt company. We put messages on T-shirts and they come packaged in a reusable bottle.
Nice.
I love that idea.
So it's like the gift that just keeps on giving. Basically.
Yeah, and I think I now have my 2-second pitch down, so I could really confidently tell you guys what my company is, and I think that's a really good thing about a company when you're able to, in 2 seconds, really tell someone what the product is and what it does.
Hit us with it.
Messinabottle T-shirt company. We put messages on T-shirts, and they come packaged in a reusable bottle. Anything about love, life, things you hate, they all come on this T-shirt.
So
the mess.
The mess is the message. And so with the mess, because we all have a message, which is a mess sometimes, and those things, you could either have a custom message or we have pre-made messages, standard messages
like
that
the one on your shirt right there.
Yeah, like my grills sweatshirt is a message. You can create a message as well. So if you kind of hate your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, and you might want to send a message saying, I kind of hate you, Messinabottle is the perfect company to do that for Christmas.
Okay. So
she just gave me an idea.
That's nice.
So when did you start this?
So the company was developed and actually, I guess, founded, or we started in about August of 2015. But we made it official and made it an official company in January of 2016. So I've really only been around for about a year now, a year and a couple months. It feels like a lot longer from all the things that I've done within that time, but it's only been about a year and a couple months.
What are some of the things that motivated you or inspired you to get started with all this?
Well, I am a designer and architect by trade. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, you graduated from Morgan State, right?
Graduated from Morgan with a master's in art.
You hear that? You hear the black woman progressing out here?
But I have a bachelor's in art and architecture from Penn State University as well. And so we are, for all the Penn Staters out there. And, I loved art and architecture. I grew up in Brooklyn, and I did art and architecture in high school, at Art and Design High School in Manhattan. And I had a passion and love for the arts. And it's so funny how much of a full circle this has made, because in high school, I was anti-fashion, even though I was a fashion girl. I just didn't want to be that girl that went into fashion like all of the other girls and all of the other people. So I just kept on saying, I want to do something different. And architecture was something different, especially being that there are only 0.02% licensed female black architects in the United States, and that number still hasn't really risen much.
And you're one of those little microscopic.
Well, I'm not licensed and registered, but I've been practicing architecture for about 10 years now, so I definitely have an amount of experience in architecture. So I went from doing architecture, but my dream job was doing retail architecture, and I was afforded that opportunity about 2 years ago when I started working for a large retail sport company in Baltimore, and it was my dream job. Loved the job, loved the environment, loved everything about it. But I found myself every day at my desk doodling and running up to my neighbors like, yo, I got this idea. I got something else that I want to pursue. And, I was one of those entrepreneurs who, and at the time now it kind of makes sense. And I didn't realize I was so much of an entrepreneur. But at almost all of my jobs, I was doing something else. Even if it was jobs that I loved. I worked for a lighting design firm where I was doing all the lighting for Louis Vuitton, Chanel, all of the high-end stores, but yet I was thriving to own my own. And I just did this at every job. So people would give me drawings. They'll say, hey, we got to get this done. The store for Chanel needs this, that. And I would be there working on my own stuff. And so it just became the point where it was just like, okay, you are doing this at every job that you're at, and so maybe you really need to try to pursue what your real dream is.
You couldn't run from destiny.
It really, I couldn't. And so the opportunity arose where it was just like things at the company wasn't going too great because I was staying up all night working on my side hustle, and I just decided, you know what? either now or never, and I'm just going to try it. So Messinabottle, I've started a lot of like companies. Prior to Messinabottle, I had a baby furniture company called Lily Nash, and it was actually a decent, and it was a great company. Things were going really well, but the turnover on the items for furniture, it was a little difficult in regards to the cost, as well as the time. Like you need a lot of like manufacturing, and I was doing a lot of it myself. So it became a bit much, and so I started dabbling in apparel because it was a lot faster of a turnaround in regards to like doing shirts, and people loved it. People wanted t-shirts all the time. And one day I was actually sitting at my desk at this sport retail company that I was doing architecture for, and I was listening to Chance the Rapper, and this was just so random. His album came up on like YouTube as I was listening and doing architecture, and the album had a bottle, and it was just in water, and it was in sand actually, and it was a message in the bottle, and it just sparked right there where it was just like, that's it, it's Messinabottle. And just at that moment, I bought the domain, and I did a design for the logo, sketched it out, and Messinabottle was born in August of 2015.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful story.
Thank you.
So what's your favorite? Excuse me. What's your favorite design you've done so far?
Well, right now, like my favorite and I guess popular is one that I have on, and it's random that I have it on today, and so it's my Grills sweatshirt. And the Gangsta Grills is just a tee where it's just a message. The message is not really hidden, but it's in the image, and it's just showing power of a woman's face with grills on, just kind of saying I'm a tough ass, I'm a hard ass, I'm gonna take on the world, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna do this. And so this is probably one of my favorite designs, and a lot of people, they love it. They love the tee. And I actually make every single shirt that goes out right now. So
you design it yourself.
I design it myself, and I make it.
Nice.
Meaning I actually print all of my shirts as well.
So handmade by Kalilah.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Stop playing.
Are you by yourself in this?
I am. It's my company 100%, and I fully do all the emails, the letters. I have a virtual assistant who is here in New York. Shout out to Anita. But she helps damage control, and she helps to send out a lot of correspondence and administrative stuff and all that good stuff. But for the most part, it's just me. Okay. And thankfully, I have a lot of friends and family who, when I'm overwhelmed and writing a stressful Facebook post, they jump in and say, hey, what can I do? Can I answer a couple of customers' emails, or what you need me to order for you? Right. So though I'm by myself, I do have a quote unquote team.
You said the Message in the Bottle company has been around for like a year, you said? About a year and a half? So what things motivated you to keep going? Because this is our 8th show, so we're relatively new, relatively up and coming, it's like same sort of platform. So what things inspired you or motivated you to keep going?
Right. It's funny enough right now, because it's not easy. Any entrepreneur who's been here, who's done this, is so not easy. And my mentor, Alfred Edmonds of Black Enterprise, he said it best. He was saying that I'm putting so much company on my baby, which is my company, to walk right now, and it's crawling, and it's coming along. But as entrepreneurs, we put so much pressure on our companies because we want the big shebang yesterday. Yeah. But for me, it just because of course financially is tough, emotionally is tough, doing all these things by yourself, and you want to win yesterday. And so for me, what keeps me going is just the fact that I feel like it's right. It just feels right. It feels like this is where I'm supposed to be. It feels like this is what I have to do. So every day that it's like, girl, but your bills are saying that you need to go back to architecture or work nights or do whatever. And it's just like my heart is just like, no, just fight, just go. You got it. You are right. Something, a power, God, your friends, everybody, something is still holding you up. So it's not for me to challenge it. It's just for me to keep going. So that's really what it has been. And I just feel like if I go in any other direction, it's just going to take me off path of what I'm really destined to be and do. So for me, it's just that intuition that's like, no, don't stop.
So you 10 toes down in this, basically.
I am.
Right,
toes, fingers, knees, all that.
So let me ask, you have a son, right?
I do.
How old is he?
He's 3. Going to be 4 this year. Yeah.
Maggie has a daughter. Maggie's daughter wants to be have her own podcast now.
Okay.
Like mommy.
So-
like mommy, right?
Does your son does he notice what's going on? Does he want to?
He's the mini CEO. He, I bring him everywhere. That's, I'm a single mom, and I bring him everywhere that I go. We go to the post office together.
Right.
They know him. That's mini Kate. They're Kaden, what you need. Mommy's mailing a package. Are you putting a postage on? He has jobs in my company, so he's the bottle guy. On some days, so he brings down the bottles to me. Some days he's the tape guy. Sometimes he's taping the packages for me and helping me and he wants to help. That's the great part about it. He's always like, and he knows my business. If somebody goes, "What's the name of your mommy's company?" He'll sure tell you, Messinabottle. Like, that's his thing. He's proud. And so, just like I'm sure your daughter looks up to you. And I think it's a great thing. I didn't know how important it was for me to own anything and to be the owner of my company. I will say, so the sport retail company I used to work for was Under Armour. And I was afforded the opportunity for 2 years to watch Kevin Plank be a leader. Kevin Plank is the owner of Under Armour, and he started that company out of his trunk, out of just, just starting a company. And I watched him kind of dominate Baltimore and take over Baltimore. And I would say it's very inspiring because just me as an African-American female, I feel like enough of us, and even males, are not positioning ourselves to be owners.
Absolutely.
And I want to own something. So yeah, I could go back to an architecture job, and yes, I have that experience, but how great is it that we are going to have children who are going to now look up to our mom and dad and say, wow, my mom is the owner of this company, and she built this from the ground up. I think that's something that I can't even put my hands around and wrap around how great that is. Thank you.
My son does that. He's like, "Dad, you're gonna do your podcast? Or are you getting paid for your podcast?" And it feels good.
It does. And I look at, Baltimore as well. I don't even know if I mentioned that I live in Baltimore.
But you're from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Baltimore now. And living in Baltimore, you have Amazon headquarters are there as well. I get to see Amazon fulfillment facility. You get to see Under Armour fulfillment facilities as well. And so just stuff like that is more like, why can I not own and create a big business like an Amazon, a Walmart, Under Armour, to then one day have my own fulfillment centers and even FedEx. When I see rows of buildings that are owned by FedEx, like Messinabottle or whatever, that can be me.
On the billboard.
Yeah, that can be me. And I just feel like enough of us are not dreaming that big and really maximizing that dream and that potential that we have. Too many of us are dreaming too small. I don't have just a t-shirt company. I'm much bigger than just a t-shirt company, to be honest.
A couple people was asking, is it more than shirts on? Was it bags? Because I know you have bags.
Yeah.
You got
so I have
coffee mugs.
jackets,
I seen a
bags,
swimsuit.
My swimsuits are going kind of hard right now. The ladies are getting ready for the trip, so they swimsuit ready.
Right.
Miami.
And you can also
customize.
Nice.
Yeah, so even the swimsuits, I'm working on that right now. I'm not pushing the customization that much, so let's tone that down. Because the customization takes up so much time. Right. Not to say we don't do it, because we do, but we're trying our best to kind of pull Kalilah in not too many, ways right now until I get some help to really help me. But we do a lot more than just t-shirts. And even with me saying that, it's just like my dream for the company is much bigger than just a t-shirt company.
Right. Yeah, why not?
So I was wondering.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Question. I was looking at some of your pictures and I noticed you do like a lot of natural hairstyles, protective styles. Do you like base any of your messages or T-shirts like on being a natural girl, especially African American? You know, we get a lot of slack for wearing our hair if it's coily and it's big. Oh, your hair's too big and its curls is all out.
Right.
Right, you know, I got these buns in right now. I mean, I'm just saying.
You know, I'm not. The natural hair industry is huge, as we all know. Right. And especially right now, we have such a great natural hair movement, which I love and so appreciate. I would say I go to a lot of natural hair kind of shows and conferences, and a lot of, so I it's funny because for me, I want to have a very large audience for Messinabottle, but I think it's very, like, you can see that this is a Black girl, you know, who owns this company, and a lot of my messages and things that I write, I guess, are just reflective of me.
Black hair and what was one of them? My black hair or something.
I'm like, I can't, the amount of messages, I have so many of them, but I just did one recently in regard, so I'll be clear. The thing is about Messinabottle, we do try to stay very current. We do try to stay on top of like current events, and we try to stay on top of a lot of things that's happening within like any industry, or things that I even deem, I guess, as important. So recently, Shea Moisture, which is a natural hair. They have a natural hair, black hair like line, and I guess for some reason another company purchased their company, and they created an ad which I think kind of alienated like African American women, and so Black Twitter got all in their behinds about it. And so a shirt that I did recently was saying they hating on my coils, and they're hating on my Kingston coils. And I think it's cool because it's like the Shea Moisture ad really said nothing. They had redheads saying, I hate my hair today. And it's like, come on, like, you know, as a Black girl who experienced people saying their hair is nappy and ugly and whatever, and all these derogatory terms, I think that the ad just really didn't resonate with me. And so, you know, I try to do shirts and things like that to sort of just make aware of things that's going on in social media, or things that's happening within politics, love, like, you know, so we try to touch on many different topics, an array of topics. So
nice. I love that.
I wanted to ask you something. We got a couple people that just tuned in, so just let them know who you are again.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kalilah Wright. I'm the owner of Messinabottle. We're a t-shirt company where we put messages on t-shirts and they come packaged in a reusable bottle.
So it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Messinabottle.com.
All right. I heard through the grapevine that you spoke with Mark Cuban. For those of you who don't know who Mark Cuban is, he's the owner of the billionaire owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and he's also one of the people from Shark Tank.
Judges.
Me and my wife watched that show like crazy. I
love Shark Tank.
Yeah. So how'd that go for you?
So funny enough, in February, I was casted to be on the Harry show. So the Harry Connick Jr. show asked me to come on as a new entrepreneur and talk to Mark Cuban and kind of pitch to him about, you know, Messinabottle, kind of tell him about Messinabottle and see what advice he would give and what he had to say. It was a very short segment, but it was really cool. Yeah. Mark, you know, and the one thing I did say to Mark Cuban, I said to him, I thought I would meet you in 10 years, not in one.
Right.
And that was big for me because being on national television, he's an idol. He's someone I look up to. He's someone that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to meet him. And to meet him within my first year of business was definitely like just eye-opening for me. Like, damn, who else I'm going to meet now?
You shook hands with a man that has unlimited supply of dinero.
It was definitely a big deal. And my question for Mark was, I wanted to, because as I said, Messinabottle is not just a t-shirt company, and you guys will definitely see how much the company will evolve in maybe, 2 years. I don't even give it 5 too. Nice. But I eventually, and this is not maybe the next step, but I eventually would like to dabble in beverages, and do like Messinabottle juices, maybe fruit juices, and do like healthy drinks, and you know, make a mess in there.
Right.
And so I was asking Mark Cuban, I said, do you think that it's too early to venture into something like that, or do you think I should wait? And his advice was to definitely get people to know the brand, get people to know what Messinabottle as a t-shirt company is. And he also recommended that, you know, beverages are really, it's expensive to do juices and things like that. Because one of the things I want to venture into is like Messinabottle juices and Messinabottle wines as well in the future. And, you know, they say it takes a lot of money to do some of those businesses. So it's something that I'll wait and I'll be patient, but it's definitely something that I am looking forward to doing.
He gave great advice.
He did.
Absolutely.
He did. I'm a jumper and I try to do everything tomorrow. But I am learning to kind of soak things up and like be patient with the process and let it grow and manifest, you know?
So I know that your family must be highly supportive of you and very proud of you, but I want to ask you about the people who were around you, and now that they're seeing you climb up the ladder, starting to get a little funny, a little shady on you, or does that happen for you?
I don't know. I'm not big on, you know,
negativity,
jealous or shade, because I'm just like, if people knew what my nights look like, if people knew what I was really giving up sometimes, the time with my son, you know, or whatever, I personally don't believe in like jealousy, or because I don't know what that person is really doing to get to the position and place where they are. So, you know, because to be honest, on some days, I wish I was the person who was working their 9 to 5 and then come home, you forget your job, you can play with your son or your child and, you know, sip wine in the backyard and just have a good Sunday. You know, that's not my life on any day. It's definitely not. You know, so for me, I would say my friends, we have a really strong circle, and I'll be honest that a lot of my friends I haven't spoken to really in a long time, or in a couple months. And it's not, I don't think it's because of business. I think it's just because of life. I think that things are just starting to happen on my level, on theirs, children, marriages, ex-husbands, whatever, you know, it's just been a lot of transition for friends. So I don't think I've really experienced anyone like having shade, but in regards to that, and I think what you're maybe hinting at, or in regards to like life-changing kind of things, one of the biggest lessons I'm starting to learn about, I'm very free on like social media, and I thought that I turned it down just a little bit, but I'm guessing that I'm still probably sharing way too much. And I think that I'm learning, unfortunately, that that's the hard part, that those are the things that can cause I guess, for things to go bad, in a sense of people using your words or what you're saying. Like, I joke a lot. So even now on my Facebook, I live in a very drug-infested neighborhood in Baltimore, unfortunately. So it's like,
but not to be funny, but like
The Wire.
Like The Wire,
As everybody always says. No, it's The Wire plus 5. Like, it's on 10. Like, and you know, it's gonna make me appreciate it more when definitely. I'm in my 20 acres and, you know, my multi-million-dollar home. I'll be like, damn, you remember when you was in a Trizap? Like, you know, so, for me, I joke a lot about, like, just like, I call everybody a crackhead because, you know, you're from New York. So even if they do heroin, they still crackheads to me, you know? So, you know, please excuse my politically correct, non-correct drug, you know, it's the same difference. So when the crackheads in my neighborhood, you know, do something funny, I like to post about it and I buy soap. I buy vacuums.
I seen you put something about the Tide Pods the other day.
All of that. I got Tide Pods for $12 the other day, and I'm sure I'm going to do laundry with them. And so I joke about that, and then it made me think though, like, dag, does my VP of Black Enterprise, my mentor, want to hear me joking about crackheads? You know, I'm like, I'm being authentic, and people buy into my stuff because it's me. And I'm not ashamed of just any parts of me, where I grew up, where I live now, what I'm going towards. But I think that it's starting to make me feel like I do need to be censored a little bit in regard. You know, my friends, they've been on me. My friends been hitting me like, yo, you can't, you know. And it hurts because it's one of those things. And I think the lesson I'm learning, it's one of those things where you're dragged into, quote unquote, I'm not saying I'm nowhere near famous, so please nobody drag me thinking I'm more than what I am. But it's one of those things where you're, you know, elevating and things are happening around you.
And that's just it.
And you don't, elevate, and you have to
change.
Yeah, and you know, and it's almost like when they say, like, when you get certain things and you can't come back to the hood, and like, you know, you love the hood, and you're like, damn, but that's my hood, and then you start to feel, you understand it when you get robbed or something crazy. You're like, oh, this is why, you know. So I'm in a weird phase where I want to be as vocal as I'm used to being,
like,
or I
be
want to
yourself.
talk, but I'm starting. I gotta put my phone down. I gotta, you know, I might not be able to say everything that I want to say and talk about everything that I want to talk about anymore, because, you know, unfortunately, it could be something that hurts me. And, you know, something happened recently and it reminded me. And, you know, they said, right now it's funny because they say you don't know who's watching. And honestly, everybody's watching. And it's one of those things where I don't think so-and-so who knows so-and-so is watching, but yeah, I bump into them and they're like, oh yeah, because I saw that podcast that you were just on. And I'm like, damn, for real? You know? So, you know, I guess I have to, it's hard, and sometimes it can be, what's the word? It's challenging because you want to remain so much of who you are and not change, but I guess that it forces you to.
But is that really changing?
You know what? You're absolutely correct. A young lady said to me today, it's not changing, but it's being selective on who you share, who you are with.
What you broadcast.
Yeah. And that really, you know, that put that really into perspective for me. You know, she's like, change it where you edit your settings and maybe only X amount of people see the days where, you know, even now, one of my good friends, she's in PR, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. A customer was riding my neck and I was ready to just throw it all in. And I was just like, and she's like, you sound unstable. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And it's hard because for me, I think I share so much because I want other entrepreneurs to know that this road is rocky, that it is hard, that you're going to want to give up some days. And for me, I really want people to understand that it is an up and down. It's not all luxurious, you know. I'm sure Kobe Bryant or whoever, all these big people, they didn't get there just by blinking. You know, they worked hard. They had days where they failed at it, and they had days where they were successful. And I guess for me, I thrive to want to share that, but I think that sometimes it can come off as you don't know what you're doing, you know. So I understand it. I don't fully always agree with it, but I understand it, and so it's all things that I'm learning and trying to adjust to.
Smart move.
Let me ask you this.
One more?
I got plenty more. I'm in awe right now. Nah, but what was I going to say? Damn. You like you say, you're not a celebrity, you know, but your stock growing. So I guess my question is, like, when it's all said and done, you know, the smoke clears, dust settles, what do you want? Not only as a designer, but as a person, like, what do you want your fans or people, supporters, whatever, what do you want them to know you for or remember you for? Like, your legacy, so to speak.
I definitely want them to know me for the Jamaican Brooklyn chick that was on Montgomery Street, that was lost, that was, went to Philippa Scholar. That was just this girl that was a regular, degla, shegla girl from around the way that now has like a multi-billion-dollar company. Not even millions, billions.
Why not? Shoot for the
because
stars.
it can happen. And I just think that you have to. And so I just want them to know that I was this immigrant girl who migrated here from Jamaica when I was 4, and I decided that I was going to be someone one day, and I decided to go after it. So that's what I want them to always remember me for, and for being true to myself and not letting anyone ever taint my vision, change my course, no matter how much life threw at me. I did, and I said that I wasn't gonna give up, and I'm not planning to.
I love it. Yes.
Well, Ms Kalilah Wright from Messinabottle. Give them your plugs one more time.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram at Messinabottle. You could check out my website, messinabottle.com. You can find me on Facebook, Messinabottle. You can find me on Twitter, _Messinabottle, but pretty much messinabottle.com. That's me.
Are you going to stick around for a while with us?
Sure, I'll stay around.
She was dropping gems just now.
All right, well, we appreciate you for coming. That was some good stuff. That was some inspiration.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For us also.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you for coming in.
We up and coming, so I was taking all the mental notes. Said Mark Cuban said what? And you said what?
Well, I wanted to start a new segment on the show. It's called Top 5. And this week's Top 5, since we have a designer here, we're going to go into our top 5 designers from our childhood,
90s,
teenage
the
years.
80s.
The 80s, 90s, 2000.
90s, early 2000s.
Right, so-
90s for me.
So what's your top 5?
My top 5.
Dum dum dum.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna have to say Rockaway was one that was big, and like the.
You was
2000s.
wearing Rockaway?
Yes, I was. When Rockaway first came out,
A
Rockaway
female?
Those
Yeah, I
I didn't know
velours,
females
Thank
was
you.
wearing
Those
Rockaway.
Even the
velours?
dude. Can I
the
get
velour suits, those were popping.
That's what I'm saying.
I live for a Rockaway velour.
Right.
Can I get to
Rockaway
my
was
top
the
5?
thing.
Oh, you finished?
Rockaway.
Oh, my bad.
Academics was a big one for me. I loved Academics. I had Academics everything. What else? What did you say? Gabo.
I didn't have
that
any
was a
of
big
that.
One. Gabo. Aniche was another big
Sneakers.
one for me. And what else? I don't know. I'm gonna have to use a sneaker brand, Jordan, or Air Max. Another big one for me.
Oh, you done took a couple of mine already.
Yeah, she took my whole top 5.
Yeah, like she took
My whole top
took
5.
my Rockaway.
Minus a
Those
couple
ones.
though. Minus a
Those-
couple. She forget.
Oh
She
yes, Parasuco. How could I forget about Parasuco?
she left out the
I wasn't
Sean
with the
John
lines.
when it
Sean
first
John
came
was the
out.
best.
Sean John is for men.
Sean John was the
That's not
best.
for
Sean
women.
John had the little
Jabos.
velour suits
Sean
with
John had the
Levi's.
best velour suits.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
women,
I
Yeah.
don't know about for women.
that's what I don't
The
know.
He
women-
never did
Windbreaker
women. He
suits.
never did women.
That's
I
what
don't
I was
think
in.
they
Sean
did.
John was the best. I love
I know
Sean John. Sean John,
John
I
was like
paid
In the
strictly for men.
the
man on
90s,
man in the
2000s.
Coliseum. I
Yeah,
must
Sean
have paid
John
like
was hot for
$2 and
dudes.
change for that job.
What?
Yeah,
But I was like a 3-4X. And you
I
know,
had
the
a-
bigger the size,
I had
the
a
more the
few-
money. Yeah.
We had a few velour suits in high school.
Yeah.
All my peoples that went to Newtown. We all
Cool
had
G.
the
What about Cool
velour
G?
suits
Yeah,
with the
Cool
white
G.
uptowns.
Cool
What?
G.
Who?
No, I never had that.
I wasn't. My album
Averex?
ain't dropped that year. Nah.
Yeah,
I ain't
Averex?
having no. Huh?
Oh,
Averex.
no.
I had a couple AVs.
Oh, you had the
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah, I had it. Yo, you had to know where to go. Burlington,
She's
baby.
younger though.
Nah, I was Jimmy Jazz aficionado, boy.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Jazz used to be the spot. They used to have everything. Jimmy Jazz was hot, like,
Cop your whole
trash.
outfit from Jimmy Jazz.
From Jimmy Jazz.
The pants, the
What about
shirt,
Pele?
the fitted.
Nobody wore
Pele
Pele
was
Pele.
all right. Pele was
No.
all right. Yeah, I wasn't a
No.
big fan of Pele.
What's your top 5, Maggie?
Dum,
dum.
Guess was good.
Levi's.
I couldn't fit Guess.
You couldn't fit Guess? Oh,
He's a big and tall.
Yeah, she was a big and tall nigga, man. I was into the urban brands, the black, the
yeah, the
Maurice
old
Malone,
Mecca,
Maurice
yeah.
Malone, shit like that. That's what I had to wear.
Anything
Even
you've seen
Fubu.
in the R&B rap video.
Yeah. Even Fubu.
Vic had
Fubu
it.
was wild.
Wow,
Popping
FUBU.
for a while until they started with that platinum food with the Fat Albert cat. That shit started
That's when
getting a
they
little
started
stupid.
playing
Yeah,
with them
that's when they
stuff.
started getting a little
Wow.
stupid.
Chill, my mama bought me one of them shirts.
With the platinum food.
You had the two-tone do-rag too? Yeah,
No,
you did.
I never wore the
That was
two-tone.
so corny.
You ain't never wore a
I always
two-tone
had a
do-rag?
do-rag on, but I never wore the two-tone.
With the headband?
Never with the headband with the do-rag, but never the two-tone. My brothers, Terry and Brian, always had the two-tone shit on with the big fake, stupid, dumb.
Don't
square
front on the
camo
Allen
earrings
Iverson
in their hair.
earrings, man. Don't front on the R. Kelly
With
earrings.
the fakest jewelry on them. My brothers used to be looking crazy.
Everybody had a Jacob. Don't.
Jacob.
But let's touch
have a
that
top
first
five?
topic. Man. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we didn't even ask.
Oh, wait, we wait for the top 5.
Let me see. I mean, for me, unfortunately, I was like doing all these high-end name brands. I don't know who I thought I was in high school.
She was fancy. She was fancy.
But definitely, I'm from Jamaica, so Moschino was
Yes.
number
Oh, I
one.
had
I love him.
All of that.
Karen.
Yup, Donna Karen.
I had a Moschino.
Definitely loved me some Tommy Hilfiger back in them days.
Yeah.
Prada. Everybody had some Pradas.
Right.
And Guess too. I loved
I used
Guess.
to love Tommy, but they never made. He made. You know when Tommy made Big and Tall? When he was played out.
So sad.
That's when I started seeing it, and I'm like, oh, now you want to do this shit when ain't nobody wearing this shit no more.
Right, but he's back now. Everybody
Yeah.
back on their Tommy.
What about
Right.
Iceberg?
Oh,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
Iceberg.
That was when,
Iceberg.
of course.
For
I
none of
had
that.
a full Iceberg outfit.
How much you pay for that outfit? You
Wait,
remember?
no,
Expensive.
Century
Iceberg.
21 though. Like
Century
that was
21
the
always
spot.
But
had
the
to
sweater
do-
alone
It
was
was
like 800.
Yes.
See, that's why you gotta
I
go
have
to
no
Jimmy
idea
Jazz.
who
What
I
you
was.
woodpeck on the front of the sweater? or
Yeah.
something?
Not afford none of that
Shit
stuff.
was like
I don't know who
800.
I look back now and I'm like, where did I get this from? Like,
You'd be
how did I
surprised.
have
You
this
couldn't tell
money?
me now when I had a Coogee and an Averex on at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was up in Club Speed sweating like a slave. Because you know you couldn't take it off. You couldn't take it off. I had the chain on I was dripping sweat. I'm like, I'm not taking this shit off.
Right, because you got it.
I'm dancing, all my shit sweating, all of it. I'm not taking this shit off.
down your wrist.
Everybody gonna see this tonight. Everybody gonna see this outfit.
I ain't going home yet.
Nope. I got that shit from Burlington. While everybody was paying like $600-700 for the Avery, I went to Burlington. I paid $250. I bought 2 of them shits.
Yeah.
Two.
Everybody ain't know about the come up though.
Nope. Everybody know about them down low spots. Oh, Eddie Bauer. Somebody said Eddie Bauer. Yeah, I heard Iceberg is coming back too.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I wouldn't do it though. I'm fucking 40 years old. I'm not wearing Mickey Mouse and
Making
niggas on my shit right about now. So Max, what's the first topic?
The email.
Oh,
Right.
you got it on you?
I have it right here.
Good.
Sorry, guys. The first email that we the email we received was, do you think social media should define relationships or share about your emotions, about your loved ones, or if you have broken up? Most rely on social media to prove that a relationship is real or show emotions. It seems like telling someone in person is not good enough anymore. Agree or disagree?
Do I agree that that's the thing to do, or do I agree that's what people doing?
That's definitely what people are doing. I know.
Because
People are
people
doing
are
it. Do you
definitely
agree
doing it.
that
No.
people
That's the-
should be on social media sharing?
No, I
To a certain
disagree.
extent.
I think
I
it's
mean,
prerogative.
Yeah, that's
No,
It's
but
another platform.
Right.
I mean, it's like, you know, if you're with your significant other, if you didn't have social media like once we didn't, it was being told.
right.
But I
Being
feel like
shared
In other ways though.
in other different ways.
I feel like-
on the wall.
I feel like the
Maggie.
level.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like
on the wall.
the level of intrusiveness has become
Them words.
more and more accepted. My bad.
In which way?
The level of, what I mean by that is like the level of intrusiveness with social media is become more accepted. Like, you know, usually when you break up with somebody, if you ain't want people to know, you just be like, yo, mind your business. Like that ain't got nothing to do with you. Or people would be like, you know, that's none of my business. I'm not gonna ask unless you tell me. But now it's like I gotta see if such and such broke up with, or they still together. Like I have to see it.
Nah, some
Nah,
people just
not
do
the way
too
social media
much.
is like.
Well, yeah, with
No,
social media, you
I'm
can
not
find out
He's
everything.
speaking about intrusiveness.
Yeah, the
If you didn't
intrusiveness
have
of social media. The
He
intrusive.
still wanted to know if y'all together or not.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be so forthcoming.
Or
Like,
maybe as easy to get.
But they know who to go to. I mean, meaning if you put so much out there, some people do wait on it. Like, we
Yeah.
broke up and this is why,
Right.
and they
people-
get all aggressive with the complaints. Of course.
but it's
people are
not. It's
there
not
to
in the
be
sense of like, all right, if me and Kalilah dating, like, you know, she's her designer thing, and I'm just like the dude she mess with. Like before social media, if you wasn't watching it on Entertainment Tonight, you wasn't really thinking about it. Like, but now social media is like, oh, she done went off on this rant. She not fucking with, like, she not messing with him.
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on the rants.
No, what I'm saying.
You have to have, like, I tell whomever I'm with Kai. And I put it on social media whenever I please to. But if we have an issue, I've shared that too. But I don't share it on social media so much.
But that's you. But I'm saying, like, but there's some people
that's why I'm going with my example.
About the social media.
I think you.
I think with relationships and social media, we live in a different era, and I do think that it is the individual's prerogative, whether somebody's really private or really public. I get a lot of shade and crap because I'm a very public person. Right. But it's not in my nature to be very private. So when people kind of hound me to be private, it bothers me because it's not who I am. So for me, when it comes to now relationships, honestly, even if I don't say I'm broken up, if you see, what am I supposed to do? Not hold hands with my new dude and post it if I want to, just because I'm fearful of what social media is gonna think of me. Like, this just made me think of like Taylor Swift. Like, look at Taylor Swift. She's dating, or and so many people gave her so much flack for, she's broken up with this one, now she's onto that. So what? That's what, you're young, and so I just feel like at the end of the day, even if someone doesn't make it public that they broke up with someone, it's still going to be perceived. Even if you do it 3 years later that you would, so they broke up. So it's still a story. So people are going to still, once you post it to social media, people feel connected and feel like they have a right to say and now are in your life. So
I don't think either way you go with it, whether you sharing the good or sharing the bad, I don't think it's chasing an image. I don't think it's trying to portray something that isn't. I don't see it under those lines.
I disagree.
I don't see it under those lines. When I see it, I love it, and when I see it, they broken up, I'm sad for them. Like,
that's you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't see it that way. My perception.
But let me say this: you got the people that, like Sade said, me and Babe. We out. Me and Babe.
That is
But then, when it all falls down, I don't know why people don't mind their business.
Like,
because you put us in your business from every single step of your business.
That's the intrusiveness.
So you can't be mad when people are tuning in to watch the rest of the show when you done gave us the
and then you cut it
beginning
short
of the
and they
show.
ask, like, what happened? Oh, mind your business.
No, mind your business.
But y'all was just posting every day, every half an hour.
It's overkill for some people. It's just too much. Like, you don't need to put. I understand. Spread your love, show your love is fine. I do mine often, randomly put my wife up, whatever. Right. But it just sometimes becomes too much. If I got to see you every single moment,
that don't bother me.
That doesn't bother me. It's just sickening after a while. Like, you got to something got to be private.
And if it's broken up, I don't want to know.
I think they just share too much. I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm out with my girl or my man and we're doing this. But it's like, okay, we out. You telling us what you ate. Where you ate at, y'all had a fight, he smacked you in the face, you smacked him back, and then 30 minutes later, you showing a Snapchat of y'all feet,
4 shrimp left,
the TV screen, and then the next
2 shrimp left,
right, it's like, we
left,
just got into an argument, and then
4 shrimp left.
But look, like, you breaking down your 24 hours with us.
But that's how much social media has now honestly taken over our lives.
Exactly.
Because I feel like that's Snapchat. I'm not really into it because Snapchat is too much for me personally because I have so many.
Personal.
But see, Snapchat is so. Snapchat is that because whenever I do get a second and I briefly look, it's that 5 seconds I did this, 3 seconds, and I'm like, dang, how do they even have the opportunity to record that?
But honestly,
that much of their lives.
Because to me, I'm very big on Snapchat. It's so quick. Just pick it up, 10 seconds, that fast. But when Facebook and like Instagram, you got to do a post, you got to write a comment. I could just say what I have to say and get it over with. Or a random video.
I think it's
I don't nothing on Snapchat either.
I think all of this is just the invasion of social media.
Exactly.
It's the invasion of social media, and also you have to think too the personalities of people are now heightened because of, I think some of it is does happen to end up being your personality, like you thrive for that, like, you know, success. Like, don't look at the celebrities, like some of the TV stars that are like now, you know, things happen in their lives and they go back to television. It's not, they're addicted. It becomes addictive. All of us, like, you know, because you get so sucked into that social media life that people want to feel like, what's the bigger thing to post? What's the better? You know, like, I'm not even gonna front. Sometimes things happen to me. Like, I was joking and saying, like, I had to hold down my hair today because the wind was trying me. Yeah, and like, you know, you end up formulating statuses in your head. Like, yo, I gotta tell my viewers this funny thing. So it's just like, I think social media has made that it did this to some people, and sometimes it's in a bad way, you know, and they don't know, you know, like I was saying, that I have to learn how to step back. Everybody don't have that friend that says, bro, you need to step back. Right. So I think that's what that is. So
some people like to be private though, man. They don't look at nobody. Like,
there's some people that don't even have Facebook.
My wife just was on Beyonce's Instagram. Yo, she follows nobody.
She don't
absolutely
have zero.
She follows nobody.
Zero.
Yeah, zero. But she had like 100 million followers or 10 million.
She got
the world. It just says
Colin,
the world.
Colin, who was here last week on the show, on his show, he's like, she's God because she follows nobody.
She really don't.
And everybody, her shit say 0 followers. Yeah. Following rather.
Yeah.
And everybody follows her. So she don't want to be.
And
in
everyone is
business.
So invested in her
with
life.
her son, right. You know,
but
the
Beyonce
whole hive
is a great example of, you have to be, you know, she's like, I can't put out too much, and then when you do put out a little bit, so much criticism about what I do put out, no matter if it's the little thing
and
or
it still comes out.
It's still
and
it's still bad,
or
you know, it still gets twisted and turned into something bad. So.
And then you have the opposite side of the spectrum of the people that's not Beyonce, but they think they are.
Oh, you definitely a lot of those. Definitely a lot of those. But I just don't agree when people use social media to make them seem like something they're not.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's a
whole
very
nother
big
topic.
thing.
I was gonna
it's
say
like
that's
you're
a whole
one
nother
person
topic because I got
in
some
person and you're
spill
somebody
for
else
that.
on social media. Like, who are you right now? Because that's what social media is, though. You can use that. You can
create a whole new persona.
Yes. People live under this facade, like, oh no, this is who I am, and blah blah blah, and then you come see them, like, wait, that's you? Like, what? You wasn't like that in your
see that
post.
every day.
Like, you wasn't showing that in your pictures. Who are you now? Like,
all it takes is the right angle to make you look popping. Like, if I take it from here,
but I don't like. But why do people do that? And they know that some of the people watching, like, nigga, we was in the mud together. Like, I know you.
Right.
It's for the people that don't know you.
Like,
that's
I
exactly
know
what
you.
that is.
Image chasers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why are you out here saying you're this and you do that when I know you don't do that?
At all.
Because at the end of the day, social media basically is all for attention in every aspect. Like,
It's
the reason
big.
why you post 12 pictures a day. The reason why you post this nigga ain't shit. Like, it's all for attention. It's so somebody else could comment like, word, you right. I was going through the same thing. Like,
and then it just continue from there.
It's been great for those who haven't had attention though, and they like it. It's been great for.
It's a lot less lonely people in the world.
It's been great for some people's confidence. I'll tell you that.
A few people.
I'll tell you that. It's been great for some of them. To put
No
up
names,
that
no
front.
names. Chill, no names, no names.
No
No face, no case.
All right, man. Dig into the first topic, please.
No
That's the
face,
end
no
of the
case.
email.
Oh, excuse me. The first topic is: do you judge someone's actions or intent? Do you judge someone's actions or intent? I'm going to answer first. I'm definitely going to say I judge actions. Intentions is just that. It's the beginning, or it can be done unintentionally. Unintentionally. So it doesn't really tell me too much.
So it's all about that.
For me, yeah, actions, yes.
I read something the other day, and I actually wrote it down. Somebody said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and roofed and furnished with them also.
Finger snaps.
That was deep, boy. Say that again. Say it again. I might
I mean,
need to
you
use
can
that.
intend
The road to hell
to
is
lose 30
paved
pounds,
with
but do
good
you
intention.
lose 30 pounds?
And
So
roofed
it's really
and
the
furnished with
actions
them
for
also.
me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn, I got
So a lot of
for
people
you.
with intent Yikes.
I got to process
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Excuse me.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Sometimes I think, because sometimes your intentions can be very
Noble.
yeah, because some people just don't execute well, like
Right.
when it comes to their actions. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they could have the best intentions.
Intent, right.
So I don't know. I feel like I will more judge you personally on what you intended to do, because I'm a very sympathetic person, because I just know a lot of people, like, I just pour you, like, that's how I'm feeling, like, I knew you couldn't have did this, the right way. So I'm more trying to help people to figure it out. So I feel like I would more judge on what you intended to do than what you actually do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. I'm on the actions. Actions is big for me. Cause I don't know. Cause it's like, oh, I intended to do that, but I actually did this. So it's
I didn't intend to hurt you.
right, but I actually did hurt you. It's like, what the? You didn't mean to, but you did. So I mean, that's kind of
intent to me is can fall under just talk.
right.
That's true.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm actions.
But if I unintentionally murdered you, I still have actions to follow and be responsible for. So, yeah, actions. I'm sorry, actions. I have to stick with actions all the way.
In a sense, well, I'm gonna ask y'all this: do the words behind the actions hold the same merit as the words behind the intent?
Words don't really matter after the actions. Actions speak very loud.
The words have to
Even
hold.
if you're sorry, you don't even have to say sorry sometimes, but your actions will definitely,
I agree with that.
definitely pave the way for your actions.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes.
So what do you think?
What, based on the question?
Yeah.
What do you
Actions or
judge?
intention?
The actions or the intent?
I judge the intent.
The intent?
Yeah, as
Why?
opposed to the actions. Because, like she said, you can mean well. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest. Because, a lot of times, the most common saying is, actions speak louder than words.
Right.
Hence why I asked the question just now. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I can say, oh, I meant to do this. Well, I was intending to do this, but this
I
happened.
need to retire that statement.
Nah.
I meant to do it.
But that's what I'm
I meant
saying.
to say I was
That's what I'm saying. Does the intent lie in the action? I mean, the
No,
intent
if
lie
you
in the
haven't
words of
done
the
it,
action?
if you haven't said it, I don't think your intent is holds any weight for me.
And see, that's why I just thought, I'm like,
And I
see,
want
this
an
is how I
example for your
forgive.
feelings.
I forgive people too quick,
Yeah,
because
that's like me too.
that's
I
why
think that's
I probably lean more towards the intent, because I'm so sympathetic with feeling like, okay, but you tried, and so I need to get tougher and hold people more accountable for their actions and what they've actually done. So so my answer, because I was like here thinking like, wait, is that what I really mean? And I think my heart does probably lean more towards people's intent than it does their actions. But, I get hurt a lot because of that. So I need to be more, hold them more accountable.
I agree. Even though
And so
forgiving
I
gives you peace.
But I like how you're a tough cookie and you're like, no, it's about your actions.
I'm
What did you
40
do?
years old. My travels have paid their ways to that, girl.
Action is good, but some people, like she says, some people's intent are just great. They just don't know how to.
Give me an example. I need to hear an example.
But
Because
yeah,
I was going to
that's-
ask you
like
for an
intention,
example.
that's not
Like
good
you break
enough
up with
for me.
somebody,
Okay.
and he's trying to get back with you.
Okay. But he's acting,
Right.
right?
No, I mean, are you
Wait.
judging him by what he's trying to do or what he actually does? Because
What
What he's
actually
doing.
doing,
but
not what
but
you're
the
trying to
intent
do.
he just might not know how to. The freaking word I'm looking for, man.
Nah.
Whatever. He might
No,
not know.
That's
No,
not
that's-
Because if someone wants something back, you really
Yeah.
gotta
do
go
what you have
for
to
it.
do.
Quick
man.
with it.
What
You
want
really
back.
gotta
But
undo
I'm
what
learning
you've
that, and
done.
I agree, and that's what I said. Like, I think that the ladies are correct. I think that you guys are absolutely
You would
right.
say that.
I
But
think,
it's true though. You have to show action. You
Yeah.
I
can't
want an
tell
example
me.
though for the
That's not
intent
enough.
besides a relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think relationships are good.
No.
What to
Give me an
put.
example for your thought of an intent being better than an action?
I even think about like jobs and like going after, like just think about entrepreneurship.
Okay.
People intend, like they think really hard about, I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to have my own podcast, I want to own my own company. And they go through all the steps and kind of, mentally, because a lot of the times this entrepreneur road is not about, it's that mental block of, damn, what am I going to do about bills, or what am I going to do about certain things? Right. So I think people have this intent, like, it's something I want, but then they wake up and they're like, no, I got to go to my 9 to 5. Like, I have to. Right. It's not. And so their action isn't saying I want to be an entrepreneur, but their intent and their heart is like, no, this is what I want.
That wouldn't hold weight, though, for me.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, and that's fine. But that's what I would judge them on. Like, all right, now that how do you get them to really see to change?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So you have that type of person that wants to be part of your business.
Yes.
And doesn't have the drive, but has the intent.
Well.
The plot thickens.
I'm like, that
was a good question.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, and that's where I need to now kind of hold people with the intent versus the action, like you said, because no, you're absolutely, as a CEO, I do not want you a part of my business if your intentions is just to send packages every day and learn how to use certain machines. I want to see that you have that drive, that you're actually doing it, so that I know that you need to be somebody to come on board, so I can take you seriously. Action. So yeah, right.
So it is action.
They won. They got it.
Yes.
So intent holds no type of
intention
bearing?
holds weight when I was going to the store, I got robbed.
Okay, but that's
juice.
my point though. What if it's on? What if it's?
But I got robbed.
What if it's
It could
on?
be a lie, but it's still. I'm not gonna judge you off. It could be a lie. It could be like you had intention. So okay, baby.
What if it's on a? What if it's on a Will Smith Pursuit of Happiness tip? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have all the intent of doing greatness, but you just.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Will Smith.
But that's like.
What if it's on some Will Smith Pursuit of Happiness shit where you got all the intent of doing greatness?
But he did have action.
But he
just has systematic, epic fail after.
But he
damn.
kept going. His action kept going. He was making the sacrifices.
That wasn't
He was
intent.
living in a
They
group
got you,
home
bro.
with his son. He was running on the bus.
It was 2 hours in the movie.
He fought a crackhead
for his machine
to come back.
But it was 2 hours in the movie.
Right, but he did it though. His
But
intentions were good and his actions followed. That's why he got it.
Intention can be an action if it's unintentionally, correct?
Say that again.
Can an intent become an action if it's unintentionally? Or can an intent become an action?
I feel like I'm taking a college essay right
now.
I was really thinking.
SAT question.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I don't think it's
oh my damn.
Let me see.
When it's unintentional, it can become an action.
I think so.
Boris, you went to Penn State.
Right, you went go Penn State.
Go Lions.
I actually did not mean to smack you, but you smacked me first.
Right. So I smacked you back. That's why we started.
I don't know. Actions.
I didn't intend to hook you after you smacked me.
If you could not tell me you love me, and actions showed it to me, save the words. That's how much I love actions.
But some people don't know how to. This is the word I was looking for.
Articulate. Damn, you was going for a minute. Welcome back.
Some people don't know how to. I'm good.
You sweating?
Shout out to you. Appreciate that.
Oh.
Some people don't know how to execute their intentions. You understand what I'm saying? They know what they want to do.
Welcome back,
Don't
bro.
shade.
No, I'm being dead ass real. No, they don't know how to execute their intent. They know this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But maybe they haven't been taught how to love a woman or how to be right to somebody or how to do this.
Say that again.
No, you gotta be. No, you gotta be taught how to love a woman. Yes, a man should be a beauty.
I don't think so. My dad. I don't agree with that.
A man can't teach his son how to love a woman the right way.
Yes, but I don't think you need to be taught.
Yes.
Because what you want and how you want to feel and how you want to be treated should be just reversed.
No, that's you. But I'm saying the
my
person
opinion.
executing it.
Right.
Nah.
I don't think it needs to be taught.
Everybody needs guidance.
Yeah,
everybody.
You know, and
think
that's
it's
something that's kind of big now. It's funny enough that I had this conversation recently because I was saying to someone.
No, thank you.
I was saying to someone that I think that it would be good if more women are really taught how to become a wife. Because that's big.
Say that again. Say that again.
Become a wife?
Say it one more time.
Hashtag that. Say that again.
I think
Well, no. Let us say that again.
I honestly
that.
do. I think that it is
Pass that
important for women to be taught how to become a wife and
But
how
I think,
to be
not to cut you
taught.
off, but I think the same goes for men, though.
Oh,
they need to be taught how to be
1,000%.
right. It's worse.
1,000%.
They need to be
Let her
taught how
stay
to
where
be
she at
women.
with it.
Yeah, let her stay
Go
on that.
ahead, Miss Wright. Go ahead, Miss Wright.
Take that I-95 south to Baltimore. Go ahead.
Taught how to be a wife, as well as even I don't feel like I was taught how to even transition to become a woman.
Right.
I think that those are elements and things that if you don't have certain kind of guidance, I'm a self. You know, yes, I learned it. Yes, I became it. It's inevitable for those things. But I think with certain elements, if you do get those, you know, basic things taught to you. And I'm not saying it doesn't have to be traditional or certain things that you think a woman should do or think a wife should do. I'm
Right.
definitely not going on that path.
Right.
But I think that if a lot of us had that basic guidance and, you know, understanding marriage, you would probably have a lesser divorce rate, in my opinion, because I do think that people go into marriage not understanding what it is
A lot of
to
people
be
don't
married
understand
and
what it
what
is.
that really looks like,
Yeah.
and understand that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's how
Because the way these
I
marriages
really
end
feel.
like this so quick.
And I think it's because it's not
Because of
taught.
that?
Yeah,
It
because they're
is,
not
and,
taught.
and
I
it's
disagree.
No,
but it's
what-
also
Say that one more time. They go into it not
knowing what it looks
what
like.
a marriage is. A lot of
And
people
not
go into
knowing
marriage not knowing what
and
it
you're
is.
you're not being taught to really understand, you know, how to really fight for a marriage and, you know, what that really looks like. I'm not saying that people need to stay in marriages if it's not good and unhealthy for
Right.
them and things like that. But I don't think that a lot of us know like what marriage really is and what it looks like and what
I mean,
Yeah.
let me ask you personally a question, because you know we do, like, we have the show every week. So last week we had episode 107. The basis of our episode was about growing up as a fatherless child. You know, I grew up that way. Vic grew up that way, and another guest we had, Colin, he grew up that way also. So do you? And I'm asking you, like, this is like a retrospect question. Do you feel that plays a part, like, in, you know, adjacent to what you just said? Mm-hmm. Do you feel that the growing up minus your father, absent a father, does that plays a part?
I definitely do. But I think that it can either strengthen that person or it can become a weakness for that person.
Absolutely.
You know, so it does end up bearing on the individual. I wasn't raised by either my mother or my father.
Oh, wow.
And so, but I was still, they were around me, yes, but I wasn't raised by them. So just certain elements and certain aspects and certain things of like just, you know.
I don't mean to get all in your business, but can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. So I was raised by my grandmother and my godmother. And so they raised me.
Oh, big mama.
Yeah. And so just certain elements and, you know, different things. But even around me, I didn't see marriage. I didn't see, you know, husband and wife. I didn't see that. So
how did it affect you?
Girl. Well.
She said, girl.
Because
We
I
gonna
didn't
try
see the
to
greatest
sense-
either.
Yeah, I mean, it is, as I said, it can be a hindrance in a lot of ways when you don't see those things. And when you have because you end up painting a picture of what you feel like marriage should look like, you know, and then when you're in it and it doesn't look anything like that picture that you painted, you don't understand why. Overall, I had a really good friend, and his mom used to like.
My wife loves you, by the way. She just said.
Oh, thank you. For example, Valentine's Day. I watched one of my really good, he was my childhood boyfriend, and I watched his mom every day kind of, hey, you need to buy me flowers for Valentine's Day, you need to say I love you. And I thought it was just so weird, not in a bad way, but why is his mom doing that? And this was when we were 15, 14. And as I grew older, and it was so funny because, these little elements of your life kind of pop back up and you don't know why. Mm-hmm. And it was just in that moment, it reminded me how much his mom was trying to teach him how to treat a woman, right. How to love a woman, how to make a woman feel special. And she was doing that to her son, son, you better not come in this house without a card. You better not come in here without a flower saying you appreciate me today. And I used to be like, damn, I gotta buy your mama a card too. It made me feel like that. But as I got older, I was like, damn, that mother was teaching, and the dad was in the house, but that mother was teaching her son how to love a woman. Mm-hmm. And that was deep. Now that I'm an adult, and I was just I had nobody teaching me how to become a woman and how to properly love a man and how to properly love myself. That's something that a lot of us miss out on.
I'm sorry, Kalilah. We got a caller.
Yeah, it's usually what happens. In the middle of a
Hit me your podcast. Who's calling?
Talk to us.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is
Yo, what up, Biz?
Hey, so yo, Kalilah, what up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to chime in on that topic real quick. This kind of goes back to last week what I was saying as far as my father's behavior motivated me to want to do the opposite. Mm-hmm. What I saw in my parents' marriage, I wanted to do the opposite of it. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So it's I saw domestic violence, and I saw how my father acted towards my mother and how it hurt her. So me now, I don't want to see my wife go through that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and as far as good marriages, I didn't, I wanted to be married, yes, because my parents were married, which was a plus, because from the outside looking in, people saw, oh my God, your parents are married. I was one of the few kids, but at the same time, they didn't know the kind of marriage what was going on in my household. Right. But once I got married, I'm like, damn, I can't put my wife through what my pops put my mom's through, because that shit hurt her. And I see what it did to my mother now, and she's just so, I don't want to say messed up, but it has a very traumatic, and it also has a trickle down effect. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering let's say if I was a girl, or I wasn't, not even a girl, let's say I wasn't headstrong, the marriage could have fucked it up too, because I could have took all that baggage into my marriage and fucked my wife up physically and mentally. True.
But I have a question.
It's what's up?
I have a question, Biz. Without getting personal, with your upbringing, was mommy in your ear teaching you? After, okay.
After. My pops, on the other hand, he would tell me shit, but as growing up, I was realizing he was subbing my mother. I told you, the only piece of advice he gave me was watch who you had kids with. Mm-hmm. And as I grew up, I realized he was talking bad about my mother. Right. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So when I grew up, I kind of, because he used to say, it's certain things that my pops did. You shouldn't put a child in man and woman business. Never. Yeah. And he did that to me as a kid. Right. And then growing up, I'm like, why the fuck did this nigga do that? I remember him telling me shit.
West Indian comment right there. Jesus Christ. That's a straight West Indian comment right there.
Putting me in man and woman business. Yo, why was now I grew up, I'm like, yo, I really resent this nigga. But the whole marriage thing, it goes for guys too. I think men should learn how to be husbands from their fathers. Yep. Right. You know what I'm saying? But some people would see it as, oh, my pops was a fucked up guy to my mother, and it carries over. But I know better, so I want the opposite for my wife.
Know better, do better.
Yep.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to let y'all go. Shout out to the show.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, babe.
Right. About nothing.
Appreciate you calling.
Right.
Yeah, to add on to that, I'm be married 5 years in November.
Woo!
And I'm still learning how to be a husband.
Oh yeah,
that's a process.
It's still, it's nothing
I never will stop.
There's no playbook. There's no main script.
My mother and father stayed together. Who knows?
You might know more.
I might have I might have went into the game knowing more instead of having to catch on and peep shit oh, that's what I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I'm supposed to.
I know.
That's what I should do.
I know.
So it definitely plays a part. It definitely plays a part.
Damn.
But that was a good topic, yeah.
It was.
You look like you gotta say something.
Because I don't think it really does.
What doesn't?
That it plays a part.
What?
How so?
Meaning the
A
household,
man
like
teaching
the
his
upbringing?
son?
Mommy, please forgive me. No, not a man. It's a marriage. You said, right? We was talking about marriage. Not father. Marriages. Because my parents' marriage was not at all candy. But my mom taught me how to be a lady. My mom taught me how to be a woman. My mom taught me when I get out this house, I know how to defend myself.
Did you have both parents in your life?
Did.
Okay.
But it wasn't candy.
No, that had nothing to do with it. I was just
wasn't
asking.
candy at all. But my father, provided financially. I love him dearly, but he wasn't really a verbal dad and with emotions. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that took a toll on me as who mama was picking, or what I gravitated to. But I knew how to be a wife. I guess my mom taught me that though. My mom taught me at 13 I was cooking, doing my own laundry. I couldn't go outside until I did this, and that. Right. So she did teach me though, but I don't think it came from a marriage. Because I think being a single mother, she would have taught me that.
Right, and that's what I was about to hit on. My mother and my father, they were never married. My father actually was married to somebody else before he even got with my mother. They were together for a few years. I mean, me and my sister 5 years apart, so I'm going to say like 5 years. But they were never married, so I never really understood as far as in a household, what that's like, but I always had my mother and my father. My mother lived in another house.
But did you have a vision of marriage, even if you didn't have it growing up?
Yeah, I think I did, just because, like you said, certain things my mother would teach me how to do. Like, I've been cooking since I was 10. I still cook to today. I've been doing my own laundry. And also, kind of like you said, my father wasn't emotional, and I can say that did play a big part on me, because I was such a daddy's girl, and it used to bother me that he wouldn't give me the affection that I wanted. So I kind of feel like I started to look to other men for what I wanted from my father. And I don't know if that was the right thing for me to do, but that's just the type of guy my father is. He's not emotional. Like,
my dad
he's
isn't
not
either.
good at expressing himself.
Now today he is.
I was about to say that. Now he is, though. I think it's because we're older now, so it's like we're adults, and he feels like we don't need that kind of emotion that he should be giving us. But I've always wanted that. And honestly, I don't even remember. I could probably count on my hand how many times I heard my father actually say he loved me. And I know he don't mean it in a bad way. Right. It's just that he's not emotional like that. Even my mother, we're just not, for some reason, I don't know, we're not a family that just uses the I love you to each other. And it's like when you're a child, like that. It's like when you're a child, you don't understand it really until I started getting older. I'm like, well, why is nobody saying I love you? Like,
are you guys Caribbean?
No, everybody thinks we are though, but we're not. No, we're not. Because
I just feel like in the Caribbean household, that's very heavy.
The love,
where people don't say "I love you," where there's no affection, there's no hugging, there's no.
We don't hug.
I'm
like
gonna retract my comment. I do agree with you guys.
Really Maggie agrees. Come on, Mo.
No, I'm gonna agree because my mother did teach me. Besides what I mentioned, she did teach me how to serve a man.
Right.
She did. So I guess it did come from
but
marriage.
I think what y'all are talking about is like the ABC standards of just being a good woman. Like to how to be a wife. A wife is totally different from
being a husband.
Just being a woman. You understand what I'm saying? It's different.
I think that the thing is too, being that there's, even though it wasn't a good relationship, and even with business situation, there's still a mother and a man, woman and man in the, in the home or in the household, or
no, it wasn't in the house. Like my mother and my father always lived separately until when I had my daughter. I had my daughter young. I was 17 when I had my daughter. So my mother, she moved into the house, just to help me because I was young. I didn't know everything that I was doing.
You got a daughter?
Yeah. Yes, I have a daughter. My daughter's about to be 11 actually in September. Go Jade. But so I mean, I really didn't know what I was doing. That's when she moved into the house. So it was always separate. Like my childhood wasn't perfect, but it was good. But it was a lot of ups and downs, especially when I was younger. Like I didn't understand a lot of things, and it's like I guess maybe I did put on a facade in a way.
We
to
all
make
do
it
at
seem
some
like
point in
my
our
life was
lives.
better than what it really was, just because when you're young, you don't want to be judged. It's like your friends have this and they have that, and it's like, wow, I don't have that, so I got to make it seem like I got this too. Like I've always had name brand clothes and stuff, but it was just like the love and the affection. Like I missed out on that when I was younger. So
I can sympathize with you. Me too.
I hate this
But not
coming
for
up
my
so
mom.
late in the show, but I dead ass want to hear from like the cross parent situation, like everybody repping Team Mo out there, like the how can I put it? The parents that's what's that? Oh, my bad. Oh, you
Go ahead.
I seen the shirt come up. I didn't know what was going on. My bad. No, but what I'm saying was by Team Mo. What I'm saying is the cross parent relationship, the single mom raising the boy and the single dad raising the girl. Like, it's easy for a mother to teach a girl how to grow, prosper, and just become a woman. But I'm talking to the opposite side of the spectrum, like my side of the spectrum,
like
where
a mother raising a son.
yeah, like my mother raising me, like the father's raising the daughters alone. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I hate it's coming up so late in the show. You know what I'm saying, but that's if y'all can email us, Maggie, hit them with the email. But
Hit me, gmail.com.
I want to hear from like the opposite sex parents raising the opposite sex kids.
What is it?
What do you mean?
Meaning, what are you looking for? What's the question?
I just want to hear from them, like their perspective.
Is it difficult raising like
Well, how
a
about this?
son?
Anybody who's a female or male, if you're a dad raising a daughter, if you're a mom raising a son,
Right.
call in.
Oh, okay. You want to hear their
Call in
Like-
and let Mo pick your brain.
Yeah,
Let me ask
like-
you a question. It's really none of our topics, but do you think a mother can raise a man?
Absolutely, I'm here. I'm in the flesh. Hey, how's it going?
But do you think you could have benefited more learning from a man instead of a woman?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like a woman,
No,
not
not to cut you off, but you had your uncle there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
but
had
at the
male
end of the
figures.
day, though, at the end of the day, though, my uncle was only there for how can I put it? Like event purposes. You feel me? Like he was there on the weekends. He was there like a fuck. What's the word? What? I'm emotional.
Crystal Hill, call in.
Nah, what's the word? Hit like a when you get custody of your kids on the weekend.
Temporary?
Thank you. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. We did stuff on the weekends, like that. But I'm saying my mother had me 24/7. So you know what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like the mothers that raise boys and the
And so,
fathers
do you
that raise
think
girls.
men can raise women?
That's tough.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
difficult
harder,
for a
but-
man. Just because
No
girls
shade.
go through a lot.
That's tough.
No
Especially
shade
at
at
a young
all.
age.
I
That's
don't think a
tough.
woman can raise a man, and I don't think a father can
To a certain
raise
extent, though.
a woman.
My mother raised me. Hey, how's it going?
That's
she
why I
had
said no
help, though.
shade, right?
I mean, you're gonna
No,
need
I
help.
understand
Like,
what
you're
you're
gonna
saying.
Actually-
I think men
I don't
can
mean to
teach
cut y'all off.
men things better than women can teach men.
I don't mean to cut
and
y'all
vice
off,
versa.
but my uncle, the uncle that I was talking about, that was a father figure.
What's a man?
He didn't live with me.
The
Some
definition
men,
of
some
a
men are not even really. Some men who are raising these boys are not even really men. So they're not
definition,
even getting.
what is a man?
Yeah.
I'm talking about my uncle. I don't know.
What's a man? What's the definition of a man?
A stand-up guy, like takes care of his own, provides for his own, no matter what. Home gets taken care of first.
Okay.
And to digress back to my other point, my uncle didn't live with me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said my mother had me 24/7. Like, my uncle, he had to get in the car to come to my house to pick me up. I mean, he lived 4 blocks away. Yeah, that's not the fun. Edit that out. But no, what I'm saying is, he had to pick me up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I can just open my room door, bow, there he is. You know what I'm saying? No, my mother and my aunt raised me.
It's a hard task, just even a conversation and just a thought. It's a difficult task, and I think that I'm sure it can be done. People do it. But I do think that, I'm raising a boy. My son is 3.
Oh,
he's turning. He'll be 4 in September, and
Virgo, woo.
Here you
and
go.
having him, you know, at first I was concerned even about things like playing with a truck, teaching him how to pee. What am I, you know, like it just, it felt like it would be a difficult task, like, you know, going to get haircuts or whatever. And I was just like, yikes, you know, I'm raising a little boy, a black boy at that. And I agree. And even if it was the other way around where where a man was raising a woman, I think that you're going to have to do it, but I think it could be done. Right.
I got to learn how to cut my throat off like you.
Hear me your podcast. Who's calling?
That was smooth.
Talk to us.
Hey, what's up? It's Brandon.
Hi, Brandon. Did you receive the gift?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. I'm writing with it now.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Talk to us.
But I was going to say, my mom raised 3 successful men.
Bless up.
Okay.
We all 4 years apart. We all in the IT industry.
Okay.
So it can be done, but at the same time,
was it easy though? Like do you don't?
Oh no,
it wasn't easy, right?
Well, not just easy. Is there a hindrance? I think that's what we're really hitting on. Is there a hindrance? Do you think that?
Because I know y'all got together and ganged up and made it hard for moms, yo.
I've seen times where I know she wanted to give up, but she wasn't built like that. She was built strong.
Right.
And I've seen times when like that, she's the type of person she won't show it. She'll hide it. So. You know what I'm saying? And because she always was, she taught us like wolves, you know what I'm saying? She taught us to go out and hunt for it.
Right.
That's what type of mom she was. She wasn't like the type of one who would get real emotional, but she'd keep telling us to fight forward.
Right. Okay.
So she was built part man. She kind of reminded me of Maggie, to be honest with you. I hate to tell you.
Okay.
But Brandon, let me ask you something though. Yeah. Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the middle one.
All right, so you're the middle one. So you said you guys are 4 years apart, right?
Where you from?
It's from Maryland.
Okay.
I'm from Maryland.
Yeah.
Shout out to Maryland.
See, I've been remembering the guests. You know what I mean? So, so your oldest brother, right? He's 4 years older than you. Did he help your mother raise you guys? Because I know she installed some things in him. So did he help with, you guys?
He was supposed to be a leader.
Right.
He was always more like, my older brother was a martial artist. He was a fighter. He was always a leader.
Did you look up to him?
When I was younger, I looked up to him more. Not saying I don't have it, like I don't look up to him now.
Right.
But me, right now, I'm a very knowledgeable person. I feel like that knowledge I got can change the world. So most people I speak to, most times I speak to a person, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but
nah, you have to. Because if you don't toot it, nobody will. Let me ask you a question. We have a Him, Me, You podcast party. Would you come?
Where's that?
New York.
He's in Maryland.
New York?
Yeah,
this is my first time in New York, but yeah.
You would travel?
We can make it a beautiful weekend for you.
You better be there.
Brandon, what part of Maryland do you live in?
I'm right by Montgomery County. I'm like right outside D.C.
Quick question, Brandon. Are you single?
But I'm very single. But that's what I'm talking about.
So hold on. Let me work here.
He's a cutie.
Kalilah, are you single?
Boy. See, I came here for this podcast. You're trying to do the dating game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll foot the bill. Y'all come back on here and talk about it.
You got me beat on drive.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Right, of course you do.
It's a spur of the moment thing.
I live in Baltimore. I'm a friendly individual, and Brandon lives in Maryland, so I'm open.
See, we making things happen here, man.
He's a cutie.
All right, so
I'm a friendly individual myself.
All right, so and y'all sound good. Come on, man. Listen, yo, Brandon, we gonna be in touch, and we gonna make this work.
Listen, Brandon, I still ain't see Get Out yet. I put you on other people. I'm listening.
I ain't seen it either.
Come on, man. This is going down. This is going down. Look, it's right here in front of us.
Hey, yo, Brandon, she got a message in the bottle, boy.
And Maggie just confirmed. He a good look. Come on, this is going down.
Y'all making me laugh.
All right, Brandon, we gonna make this happen, brother.
This dude called to talk about his mom.
That's all right. All right, thanks for calling, B. See? Come on,
Kalilah blushing. Look, man. She's blushing.
I told y'all.
Face can't be better than my hair right now. Like, I can't.
I am always in podcast mode. I'm always in him or her mode. Y'all gotta understand me. When I say, yo, man,
her face the same color. Right. Yo,
man, talk some of that meat out shit real quick, man. No.
Look. She's about to hit you with it too.
Yo, listen, hey, just brainstorm on me. See, we gonna make this work, man. See, that was perfect.
Go ahead, Maggie. Demon, Poppy.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the next topic.
Go ahead.
All right, the next topic is
Y'all brought it to tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. The next topic is, bear with me, guys.
They just call me Phil Jackson, man.
Who is the worst person who writes the check to exploit you, or the person receiving the check to be exploited? What's worse to you? The person writing the check or the person receiving the check?
That's that Baltimore boy.
Right. Who's worse, the shooter?
I am definitely on the fence with this.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
I'm on definitely the fence, but I lean more towards the person receiving the check.
Okay, well, since we got a guess, I'm going to say this. I'm going to direct it towards you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to remix the question a little bit. How did it start off? Go ahead.
What's worse? The person writing the check
or
receiving?
What's worse? The big corporation exploiting the fashion designer?
Yeah, but that's not exploiting.
How so?
Because exploiting is a negative.
How so? Exploitation in any form is exploitation. Hence,
but it's negative. It's not a positive.
Like the shea butter ad. Is that not exploitation?
But that's a negative. It is a negative.
Negative or positive? Exploitation is always negative.
Exploitation is not a positive. It's not a positive.
That's my point.
Right. So it can't be in. I'm sorry. You said fashion?
No, let him finish.
I'm directing.
That's this red shit.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Pardon me.
Because I was like, y'all saying the same thing.
Yeah, right. I was like, what?
But I'm gonna wait.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
Take 2, running back.
My apologies. Stop it.
What I was saying was,
yes.
Look at you. See, now Maggie mad at me. I'm gonna hit this the whole
I
car ride.
apologize. I'm sorry. I misunderstood
I'm kidding.
Shoot the question.
Right?
In your opinion, what's worse? The big corporation exploiting the designer, or the designer taking the check to be exploited, being that you're a designer? See, I clean that up.
Let me see. It's a hard question because, the thing is, in business, we have to be smart, too. And so sometimes, though, yes, taking a check is, you're being exploited and you're doing it for a greater good, in a sense, is not to say that you shouldn't. But I would say the person taking the check is more liable and responsible, only because you are now determining what you want to happen to your company. So that responsibility is on you. So, for example, I'm a small, business, and this is a great example. Let's say I have all these, let's say if my messages were
what's
only.
What's your business again for the people that just tuned in?
Messinabottle.com.
Alrighty.
Messinabottle. We're a t-shirt company where we put messages on t-shirts and they come packaged in a reusable bottle.
Go support.
So right now we have a variety of messages. But let's say, for example, if I was just a company who had messages who were only like spiritual and uplifting,
right.
And I only had like, God felt type messages or whatever. And all of a sudden I signed with DMX's clothing company. Good example. And DMX is like, where my dog's at, real quick. And and he was ready to put on my shirts like, F the world, we about it, whatever. And that's his parade. That's his vision. Right. So he has that capital, and it's up to me to decide if that money is really worth it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, make that bad decision because they really need the capital. They really need the money. So they take the check feeling like, hey, I'll go in whatever direction because I need the money so bad. But look at what happened with Shea Moisture. You took the check and they created a big slap in the face to the people that helped you get the opportunity to get that check. So I definitely think it's the person that receives the check, because unfortunately you have the option to determine what you want to happen with yourself, the business, whatever. And so if you take that check, that's you now signing over your rights to, you know, you're saying F the people. So.
Absolutely.
But then in retrospect, I do believe neither in certain situations are to be responsible for that. Let's say the famous example, stripping. Some strippers do it for college, right? Go through college.
College is free now.
I think it's more
Then you
than
have the
just
strippers who quit
Sorry.
after they have gotten there.
I mean, yeah, some go
Have they been
for college
exploited?
purposes. Some go because they want to have their own business. Some go because they have to support their kids. I mean, there's many different reasons why. That's
Some
why
go,
I was
like,
saying
do
I was on the
splits.
fence about that, because I feel like if it comes down to like me eating and feeding my kids and stuff, I'm taking that check. Like, I don't care how you feel about me or whatever. If I have to use that to provide for my household, that's something I'm going to have to do. Because, you know, I don't want to see my kids out here starving or homeless or anything like that.
I get all of that, but even in regards to stripping, I mean, not that I'm not anti-strippers, because I like throwing dollars too. It's fine.
Strippers.
But I would say that, you know, we all have to be accountable for, you know, because yes, stripping money can provide X, but we all know sometimes what other things that can come with, you know. So I just feel like, are we really promoting or being smart enough that that's the result? You know, like anybody could be quote unquote like a prostitute per se, like, you know, but does that need to be that end that you know, why not start your own business? Right, you know, why do I need to make that the resort? And so, because a lot of when I look at strippers and things like that, a lot of them say whatever money they trying to get to X ain't even really doing that. They get a little bit of money, and it's not even enough to really, you know, hold that apartment or hold the car. And they end up being there to just, you know, keep it going. So it doesn't end up really becoming the lifestyle and transitioning into anything they really want to be in. So,
not to switch topics, but for the record, Maggie is not eating anything. She's chewing gum.
Oh, I have to.
They're like,
they always trying to figure out what you eat.
What's she eating?
So what about the woman who exploits men for money, cars, and things of that nature?
Who said that?
Kanye. He said, like, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but you know the rest.
Listen, I just wasn't that smart in my lifetime yet. I wasn't that smart in life, but I'm not a fan of it. But I think that the women who can, or even the men that can, like, heck, they are. You don't
look like a gold digger, but I'm just saying.
Damn, I need to, because the way my life is currently
the way your life's set up.
The way my life is set up. But you know what I fear is, I am hopeful that I will become a millionaire, and I don't want anyone to.
You and me both, sister.
I don't want anyone to try to come after my ends, you know. So I'm not a user type of person, and that's what those people are. They're users, and I don't like users.
Dum.
What the hell's this lady name? The Kardashian mom. What's her name?
Chris
Jenner.
Why do I know that?
Does she
Chris
exploit?
is the man.
No, Chris is
you
the
feel
woman.
me?
KRI is Chris.
Okay.
Does she exploit her family?
Of course.
Yes.
She's like the queen of it, right?
To the thousand.
I don't agree.
Yikes! No.
I mean, yes, but no. I mean, you know what? Does. Listen. Okay. My thing is with Kris Jenner, I really do feel as if her kids wanted to already be in some form of a spotlight.
Absolutely.
She's a business person who now took that quote unquote opportunity, because that's what they wanted, and created this enormous empire of so I don't.
She the new Papa Joe Jackson.
Listen, you can't look at it as exploitation if the people want to do it. So I can't look at a porn star as I'm exploiting the porn guy because the person behind the camera is filming and, you know, and this thing is going viral. So I don't look at Chris, I look at her as a amazing businesswoman. I really do, because her kids want that. Kylie wanted the lips. You know, all of the, she wanted the makeup. She wanted those things. Oh, I don't think that it was a great.
But see, my wife just said.
I don't think it's good as a parent, but I think that she's a great business person, and this is what she did as a business, as a big business for her family.
But Papa Joe Jackson. Let me say this. I feel like any other mother. Shit for them.
It's lucrative as hell.
I mean, the things that come with if you can deal with what comes with it, then it's worth it. If you can deal with the constant people in your face, you can't go to the bathroom without 20. Yeah, it comes with a life. You can deal with it fine. But I feel like any other mother would have rushed and tried to do anything to get that sex tape
pulled back.
Removed.
Yeah.
What sex tape?
With Ray J.
I
feel like once she's seen the dot, she's like, baby.
That was a stupid sex tape.
You could make.
I seen it. It was.
I did not see it.
I saw it, but don't you think? Don't you think it was put out there on purpose?
Of course it was.
Okay.
After Paris Hilton.
Don't you think that the mother, I mean, even if it was or wasn't, at the end of the day, her mother's probably, what the age that we were going into with sharing, it almost felt like, what can you do? Because this thing is already
you got your family reality show. So, I don't think it's a difference.
Nah, that was before they was even like
really
big
on
like
it.
that.
Yeah, it was very.
Quiet. You
didn't know who the Kardashians was.
Okay,
that was before the. You know what I mean?
Right, but did y'all see? Not to change this, but did y'all see that picture that was floating around of Kim Kardashian in her bathing suit just recently? What is happening? Her butt is so
Fake
big,
butt.
and her legs is so small. She's looking like an ant. Remember, I was telling you about that ant thing.
What you
The
mean?
big hump on the back.
What you
and the
mean?
little
What's
legs.
happening? Gravity's happening. Like reality's happening.
Right,
Like
it's looking really bad. She only looks good in clothes. I'll give her that much. Like,
because you can hold that shit together.
Right,
like,
she looks good, but in that bathing suit, honey, was.
So what about Black China and Rob?
Who?
Black China? What do
She
you mean?
exploited the shit out of that nigga.
Of course you did. Tiger too.
No, stop. You
Tiger too.
You think she wanted to be with that dude, yo?
No.
She wanted what came with being with him, yo, and she got it.
It was a shot at Tiger to me.
And she got it. She got it. Her kid's last name is Kardashian, right?
Out, yeah.
She's
but
in
they
there.
still deal with each other though.
For the baby.
Right, but I can agree. Like Rob has some issues.
He does.
He does as far as
But she
image and
used that,
everything.
She used that.
But you can tell that it seemed like she was genuinely trying to help him, like come out of his shell.
For
like
TV.
if you watch, I mean, I don't know. Like I watch her Snapchats and everything.
It's
Like
the same thing with Janet Jackson. After the prenup of 5
She's
years,
the MVP right now.
You had to be married for 5 years.
She left 5 years, 2 months.
Yeah,
Done.
But that doesn't mean. But she tried.
No,
she even tried.
she waited.
Changed religion.
Not tried.
She moved across the world for her
She
marriage.
played the part.
Thank
She
you.
knew what she was doing. She played the part.
And 5 years and 2 months, she said.
You think if you have,
Gone.
you think if you have an intention of getting somebody, you're gonna play the part fully.
Shout out to Stedman, yo.
Yo, Vic.
Is he still with Oprah?
Man.
He's not married to Oprah.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he
No,
is.
he's not.
He's married.
He's something to Oprah.
But he's not married.
Okay, Vic, watch this. For the men in the room. Maggie, gotta look in the camera when I say this. Do you judge Janet Jackson's actions or her intent? 5 years, 2 months, she's gone.
That's a divorce. I'm not judging no divorce.
But the agreement was after
That's
5
not an
years.
action either.
No, her intent. That was her intent.
I don't.
The agreement was 5 years.
But
2
anyway,
months to get the paperwork done and she's out.
Oh, they said Stedman and Oprah are not married.
Yeah, no, they're not.
But that's her man, though, right?
He live in the crib. One of them.
He's winning.
He's in one of those houses.
But they've been together for years.
Right.
Maybe he's been playing. I would play the role with Oprah.
So maybe I'm playing a part too, right?
Hey, Oprah, baby, call me. I'll be your Stedman.
For so long.
What?
Just like homegirl.
What?
Act
You can't act
baby
for
and
how long?
bounce. You can't act for that long. You
Dealing
can't.
with Oprah, I can act forever.
Denzel been acting for how long?
I can act forever.
Thank you.
I can't go back to regular Jugga after dealing with
Fences.
Oprah money.
No, Oprah's the one who doesn't want a marriage.
Shit, yeah.
Oprah
I
got
mean,
married.
because of what Yeah, because of what? Because he might. Now he can just go and it's nothing.
No, not because of that.
That's what.
Because of her own personal issues as a child.
So it ain't because he could take half a fortune?
No.
What?
That's why some people don't marry.
But if that's the case, you can have a prenup.
I mean, a prenup will work, but 10 years.
Like Homeboy did with
after.
Janet Jackson. He had it. He's the one who said 5 years.
That's Janet Jackson though. Like she runs,
and I wouldn't
Control.
judge intent and action.
She runs shit. Like you're not about to tell Janet Jackson
is
nothing.
real.
Like that's Janet Jackson. That's like telling Beyonce some shit. No, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
I think they're women just like us. At the end of the day, they deal with the same issues, just more money.
See, they said her intentions was to get divorced in 5 years and in 2 months.
What did Kanye
I
say?
don't see
We
it
want
that way.
prenup. We want prenup.
Yeah.
Cause if she leave your ass, she gonna leave with what? Half. Exactly.
I'm worried about that
well.
now. As a growing entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody want half of mine?
Prenup.
We want prenup.
Mizzle.
I know.
We have to be more careful who we invite in our first.
Sorry, Brandon.
What's the situation with Lala and Mello right now?
Is the first start.
What's the situation with Lala and?
He wants back. He ain't letting her
Oh,
go.
he's trying to get back?
Typical.
Yeah, he
Typical.
jumping hurdles.
You said
Jumping hurdles?
Yeah, he doesn't want to let her go.
I mean, he probably wants
He's
to
doing
I
that.
heard that
man.
she put out. She wants bank,
She want that. See, she want that
She
big,
wants bank.
big bag.
and I don't.
But they have a
think she
prenup.
deserves it.
They have a prenup.
Yeah, but that shit only work to a certain extent. She gonna get something. She gonna get.
But she was
alimony,
Lala
child
before and
support.
Lala after. So.
She was little Lala. She
But
was
no,
little
her name never
MTV.
changed. Nope.
Nah,
She was
wasn't-
always. She had something before him and
little
after.
MTV
Lala.
show. She wasn't drinking that good shit when she was with Mello. So.
Yeah,
matter.
she
She
was
put that
drinking
work
top
in.
shelf.
She put that work
She
in.
definitely put that work in.
Definitely put that
Yeah.
work in.
She
No,
did.
she deserves what
He
she
impregnated
gets.
a stripper.
She deserves what she gets.
She was a stripper?
I don't think.
The lady?
I think they say she wasn't a stripper.
Oh, she
From
wasn't.
what I'm,
But she's
it's
6
two,
months
like,
pregnant.
Different stories, yeah.
That's terrible.
That's a
She's an
hard
education with
pill to
it's a
swallow,
whole
and
bunch
a
of stuff.
huge one.
Maybe
I just
Colin
want to let y'all know from the bottom of my heart. No matter how big this get, nobody's getting half of him and you her.
Yeah, see, allegedly, he slept with a stripper.
Who allegedly? Biz said that?
You have to say that because
Did
you get
Biz
sued
say
for shit
that?
like
You
that.
definitely
How did I
get
know?
alleged.
Allegedly.
Always
And
allegedly.
allegedly, she pregnant.
Allegedly.
Whatever.
You get
And he
sued.
wants her back.
The worst. Huh?
And he wants
No.
her
Wants to-
back.
I mean, people want their family back. Men fuck
Like
up, so some people want our
somebody-
family back. Yeah.
Men mess
It's
up.
always a break baby.
Yeah.
Men mess up.
What if women had break babies?
Damn.
We had that topic before too.
Y'all wouldn't be able to handle it.
don't
Y'all
need-
would
They
not
cannot
be able to
handle
handle
You
what
need
it.
to come on the show more often.
Y'all would not be able to handle our break babies.
Nah.
They would
That's
not.
different. Like it's a process.
Different?
Men
Yeah.
can't handle what they
Oh
give.
my,
They sure
at
can.
all.
Men
At
is
all.
more of like a Christmas thing. Like, hey, here it is. Like women is like, I'm going to the hospital. My water broke. You coming or not? Like,
He coming on
Yeah, he wants her back. Like usually. How it happens.
Like usually.
It really is.
Listen, man, you can't. you
She'll
know,
be back though.
he played for the Knicks. People fuck up.
She probably will.
People mess up.
The Knicks ain't doing good.
But someone said he loved his wife and not the stripper.
So there's cool
Huh?
points. There's
Do he what?
Right? Exactly.
loves
But maybe
He
she was
loved
giving
the
him something that Lala wasn't giving him.
Wow.
Facts.
Wow. Communicate with your wife then.
But
Right,
maybe she didn't
right.
want to. I mean, but we don't know the ins and outs.
So then we don't
on
know
the
about that
inside.
either.
Right. So I'm just saying. What?
Oh,
word?
okay.
Damn. Shit.
All right. It was a lovely show.
All right. Well, we got the date.
How did I get sucked into this place?
Saying you came on the right show. Hopefully, we have the date. We're hoping that they both participate.
She gonna curse us out when this go off. You know that. She gonna have some choice
Brandon's
words
a
for
cutie
this.
though. How
See,
we
Maggie
asked how
come
old is
from-
Brandon? Brandon, how old are you? Put
Is
it
he
up.
still
Put it.
watching?
Comment your age.
He sounds mature though.
I don't know when, but I will have the him, me, you, her shirt designed by Ms Kalilah Wright on the show in the near
I'm
future.
gonna order a shirt for my wife.
in the bottom.
You got
Absolutely.
anything coming for Mother's Day?
I sure do. I have a great shirt, and it's already out. It's actually on the site. So check out our site, and we actually have a box, and I like to plug that for Mother's Day.
Plug everything. Everything.
We have something to make her smile, something to make her laugh, something to make her feel special. So it's all a cute little Mother's Day box. It comes with a T-shirt, a necklace, a book that I wrote, A Mother's Dream, and it has little other trinkets in there for Mother's Day. So grab a box for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
Her website is dope, man. She has the prices are great.
One more time, plug all your business.
Sure. I am Kalilah Wright, the owner of Messinabottle. Messinabottle is a T-shirt company. We put messages on T-shirts, and they come packaged in a reusable bottle.
Where's the bottle?
It's right there. It's right there. You got a T-shirt in it already.
And my website is www.messinabottle.com. My Instagram is Messinabottle, as well as my Facebook is A Messinabottle, and my Twitter is _Messinabottle. What's your message? Messinabottle.
Beautiful.
This is so cute. I really like the
I love
idea.
That's what caught me. That pat is dope. Like that's very original. It's dope.
Thank you.
I'm gonna check you out.
And when we get one, we gonna wear the all wear the shirt and take a picture.
I'm gonna wear the bathing suit.
That. I got
We're
you
gonna have a
guys.
bathing suit.
I'm not gonna have no bathing suit on. Bro.
I got you guys. Let's do this.
This is all right.
I like my message about a T-shirt for him, me, you, her though. Just
guys, y'all know the rest. The Gmail is himmeyouher@gmail.com. The Facebook is himmeyouher. The Instagram is himmeyouher. Everything is just him, me, you, her.
Yeah, Brandon,
because that's all it's about. Him, me, you, her.
Brandon, let us know some information about yourself. Please email us at himmeyouher@gmail.com.
Ms Kalilah Wright, we thank you.
Yes,
we appreciate you.
We had a good time with her today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks. I had a blast. Thanks so much for having me.
And we are humbly inspired by your journey, because it definitely inspires our journey. And as always, we hope the most important, most impressionable, most motivational part of your week and our week leads to a most important, motivational, impressionable, all that. I just got words floating in my head right now. Nah, because I'm feeling good right now. But anyway. Nah, it's not the drink though. It's the guest. It's the vibe. It's the like you know what I'm saying. You back. You was in the Bahamas last week. I'm yapping right now. My bad. But yeah, y'all have a great week, and we see y'all next week.
Nice.
Signing out.
Thanks, Boris. Take us out.
Yo. Tired of them other podcasts, dancing all in the videos. Not being up all game, not talking about what you want to talk about. Listen to him, me, you and her. You and her, she get with me and him, and we can kick it every weekend. And him and her, she leave me and you, and we can Netflix and chill like we do. Oh man, it's just him, me, you and her. Yeah, it's just him, me, you and her. Yeah, it's just him, me, you and her. Yeah, it's just him, me, you and her. This for the guys behind bars who feel they lost they thunder. They ain't seen the outside since a beeping them. I got cash, but don't flash, so baby, place your order. She want Beyonce lemonade and flip Michigan water. You love your chick and it's sad, cause she can't stand you. Call your chick Troy Ash, she bustin' on camera. Got shooters, nerd niggas that get mean, that leave arms spread like it's 9:15. I used to have dreams of working for MTA, till the street said, Nico, you should go a different way. This here in 401, but you can get a different cake. Your jump shot is cool, your handle is okay, but the rock that we can pass, that talent don't go away. Then the block start bubbling, money started coming in. Even seen the fiend of a fiend bringing up a mother in. Never knew that all that shit would cause some trouble. You and her, she get with me and him, and we can kick it every weekend. And him and her, she leave me and you, and we can Netflix and chill like we do. Oh man, it's just him, me, you and her. Yeah, it's just him, me, you and her. Yeah, it's just him, me, you and her. Yeah, it's just him, me,